back.
Welcome back. And before we get started, just a quick shout out to our Instagram where we're most active.
Yes, didn't anyone mention? We just actually posted today, which is usually a couple days before we post, but I hope you guys enjoyed the last episode and excited to give you this week.
Yeah, if you haven't listened to the Project Bluebeam episode, it's I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
But anyways,
conspiracy-ish.
Enough about that.
Yeah. But I'm Sam.
And I'm Miguel.
And this is Didn't Anyone Mention podcast.
Yeah.
So
welcome.
Yeah. Well, I hope everybody's week. You know, we're already halfway through the month of January, so
yeah.
Hope everybody's week is month, whatever. Everything's going
pace.
Great. Yeah.
Hope you're on pace for all your New Year's resolutions.
Yeah, keep it with it. I think I saw something where the 10th of January is the most common day that those resolutions are dropped.
Really?
Yeah, so keep on going. Like, maybe if you took a couple days of a break, just keep on going. You got this. It's okay.
And if you're in the Pacific Northwest right now, we're in the middle of this huge snowstorm.
Yeah, it's low-key awesome.
It's pretty cool.
It's really pretty.
I can't wait. It's supposed to be over by midnight, but it's pretty cool.
We have gotten a lot of snow.
So I want to say in the past week we've definitely gone over 10 inches. Everything melted and everything.
Yeah, I would say 10 inches for sure. It's super cool. I mean, it's really powdery. So if you like snow or snowboarding and skiing, I think they like powdery snow. I don't know. I don't do that. But
me either.
Hope everybody enjoys it because it's a great time and So, but I have some great stuff for you today.
What do you got? What do you got for me today?
First off, I gotta shout out my guy Nick. Not Nick Miller, not Saint Nick, but Nick.
Nicholas.
Yeah, I did clarify with him that his full name was Nicholas.
Nicholas or Nicholas?
Nicholas. Not just Nick, because I don't know. That would be the one person I didn't ask, and his name's Nick, just Nick. But I work with him. He's a great guy. He always gets you a good smile. You can't really go wrong with that kind of person.
Good smile kind of guy.
Yeah, and he has just the kind of same humor as we do, and it's awesome.
Good humor?
Yeah.
What do you mean by good humor? I have
darker side, but
yeah, I have a wide variety of humor.
You do, and we've always talked about it. You could be low-key a comedian.
It's one of my dreams to become a comedian. I don't know if I could. Maybe one day I could go on stage and maybe work a mic for 2 minutes. That would be wild.
You know what's so cool? I've listened to a couple of podcasts where they do podcasts and then they end up doing a live show. So they end up they prepare this and do everything and just do it on stage for everybody. And I don't know what they do at the end, but I mean, I would love to be a part of that, but yeah, I guess that's a thing.
That would be cool. And for the most part, we're not scripted. I mean, we have some things we want to talk about.
Yeah.
But everything that happens it's pretty natural.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we print out a couple pages to talk about so that we, as in the person who came up with the topic has their guideline, and then other than that, it's a guideline. We kind of bounce off. We kind of remember stuff that we looked up, and it's pretty raw at that point.
It is pretty raw. So, and if you haven't noticed so far, it's Sam does an episode, then I do an episode, and then Sam does an episode.
Yeah.
And it's just back and forth. It's fun. It's
super cool because then we both work with other people. I would say technically with more people than Miguel does for his team.
Yep.
And now that I'm getting more involved with my team because I just had a switch up in that, I've kind of been a little bit more open about doing a podcast because I'm a little shy about it, but I also am super proud of it at the same time. So now that people are kind of listening to me talk about oh yeah, on this podcast we talked about this, Nick came up with this idea for me and he has actually visited here. So I thought, why not? And I even have a first-hand encounter from him of what happened.
You have a video from him?
No, not a video, but exactly what happened from him.
Oh, gosh.
So he went in...
Is this a spooky one?
Just a little bit.
Oh.
Nothing too crazy. I'm going to actually pull this up right now, but yeah, it was so funny because earlier today I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot to ask him to type out what had happened to him to send it to me. So I texted him like this morning, and then he never responded, and I was like, dang
Classic
it.
Nicholas.
I was like, dang it, dude, I really wanted to get his story. And then I don't know, like 5 hours later, he texted me back this like essay of what happened. So I'm guessing that's what took him so long. But super sweet guy. But I want to say it's I'm going to talk about Saint Ignatius. Ignatius.
Oh gosh, it almost looks like ignition, but it's Ignatius.
Ignatius. So
I'm gonna go with Ignatius.
Ignatius Hospital. So
bow, 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 bow.
that's all I know.
What is it? Bobby fresh off the kitchen. Mama rolling that body. Got every man in here wishing.
Ignition. Saint Ignatius Hospital. No, I'm joking.
Okay.
But this is in Colfax, Washington.
I've been there once.
Okay, I don't remember if we drove through there when we would go to Spokane.
No. So the one time I've been there was, Ethan.
Tell me about it.
You know my guy Ethan.
My homeboy Ethan.
You know my homeboy.
Ethan,
Ethan, if you're listening.
What's up, dude?
Yeah, what's up? What's up, my guy? And then also, he had an apartment in Colfax because he worked up there for, I want to say 1 or 2 years after he graduated.
How did I not know that?
I don't know.
After like when we lived in Moscow?
Yeah, he graduated, right? And he lived in Colfax. It was like...
I did not know that. I thought he always lived over yonder.
Oh, I went over there once, and I think I helped him move some stuff. I cannot remember why I was there, but...
Did you see this?
I don't know. Super small town.
It's on the main street.
That's where he lived, is off the main street.
It's off of Main Street.
So I might have seen it, but it's been
Here,
like...
Let me show you a picture of it.
How many years now?
Oh, it had to have been like 4 or 5... So
6
this is
years
what it
ago?
looks like. It's like massive.
Hell no, I've never seen that. I would go nowhere near that. So for the people listening, this looks like... So
it's
if
like
you're listening...
Yeah.
I want you to close your eyes. Okay? Close your eyes. If you're driving, keep them open.
Please keep them open.
Please
just
keep
use
them
your
open.
imagination.
Yes. And, okay, so for those of you with your eyes closed, imagine a scary scenario. Okay? You're walking up on Halloween night, and your buddies say, hey, let's go do something fun. And they take you...
They actually do tours during October.
Yeah, even worse, really. And they bring you up to this building, and it's all brick. It's 4 stories high. It's got Gothic architecture.
Mm-hmm. You could look.
And now multiply that by 3 times. There's dead trees.
There's like what red brick. I would say it's 3 levels. I can't remember.
It looks like 4. It looks
4?
like 4.
Old school. This was built in 1893.
It's very scary.
It's very old. So, in 1892, a reverend named Jacqueline. I'm gonna say Jacqueline. If I'm pronouncing. I'm sorry. He was Roman Catholic.
Of course he was.
And he realized there was a need for healthcare in the area.
Gosh, isn't there always?
Fun fact, I looked up what's the difference between Catholic and Roman Catholic. I thought you were going to ask me that as soon as I said Roman Catholic.
Well, here we are. Let's see what the difference is. I'm actually curious now that you bring it up. I didn't know there was a difference.
So, I looked it up. This is a definition. One of these is Roman Rite or Roman Church. It includes most of Catholics in the Western world. Goodness gracious. Great balls of fire. Western world. A Roman Catholic is a Catholic who is a member of the Roman Rite. There are many Catholics in the East who are not Roman Catholics, such as Maronite Catholics, Ukrainian Catholics, and Chaldean Catholics. That's how I'm going to pronounce them.
So are these actual substrates of Catholicism?
Yes.
So they have different...
Dude, religion is any kind of branch you could make it.
So right now, just to put it into like a tree, at the top we have Catholicism. Mm-hmm. And then let's say this branches down where it goes Roman Catholic.
I would almost say like half is Roman, and then the other ones are kind of more branched off. Like
Ukrainian, whatever you were talking about. And they're different?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah. So I don't really know what the Roman Rite is, but apparently there is different branches of Catholicism. So I was just going to say that. So that was cool.
That's interesting. I wonder...
I've only been to
I know there's a bunch of different kinds of Christianity. I've only been to Mass
like twice, 3 times.
Bro, I used to go growing up, and Mom, if you're listening, I'm sorry, but I never enjoyed it.
I don't think as a kid you really enjoy church.
I love the donuts.
You don't really understand it. I don't think
that
you
was
ever
it.
do.
I just remember Sundays we'd get up, and I'd be like, oh my God, we gotta go. And I remember sitting there.
See, I thought that Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday.
You fucking cultist. I remember like sitting there, and it wasn't English Mass, it was Spanish Mass, and we'd all...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I remember like holding the books. I don't know what they were called, but we'd sing, and it was like...
hymns? Actually, I don't know if that's what that's called.
I don't
take
know.
That back. That's what at least... The church I've been to
is called hymns. Are you trying to indoctrinate me right now?
Indoctrinate? The hymns are taking over my life.
No, but I remember like growing up, okay, we'd all get dressed up and we'd go, and dude, I was so freaking bored sitting there, and then we'd all sing, and it wasn't cheerful. It was like...
Well, so it was in Spanish too, huh?
Yeah, it was freaking depressing. Huh. And then after we were done, we'd all rush out, and then we'd get free donuts. And that was the highlight of my Sunday. And they weren't small donuts either. They were big motherfuckers. That was the best.
Okay, see, I only went because I only got to go to Mass twice because I don't even know twice. I think it was twice.
Mass? When did you go to Mass?
Fun fact, I was part of a cult.
It's very fun.
Yeah.
I ask her all the time.
Yeah, Fundamental Baptist. If you look it up, it's a little rough, but we were in that with my mom. My parents are divorced, so we would go 1 week mom, 1 week dad. So my dad, when we were kind of going through a custody change, my dad was like, are you curious about other religions? Because I grew up Catholic, and so did my stepmom. So do you want to go there? So they took us twice, and we were like, we don't want to go again. So that was that. But I also think other reasons why we didn't go. So either way, we got to kind of experience that.
That's kind of cool, I guess.
Which it was really nice for them to offer that. But as of right now, not really super into religion because of all that stuff. And you were talking about how it was kind of really boring. I bet
it was exciting.
At that age, I was like believing it and not at the same time, where I was like, this is cool. I would love to teach Sunday school to the little kids, stuff like that. And then I would go to school and be like, why am I like it was really weird. We could go into that a whole different time, but
that sounds like it'd be an entire podcast in itself.
It was just like, wait a second, and then you would get kind of almost shunned and looked down upon because I did go to public school. Jackie, my sister, and I were the only ones that did go to public school.
This could absolutely be... Yeah, I don't know if you'd be willing to open up like that, though. That's your childhood, and I'm not going to ask you to do that publicly.
But either way, it was pretty intense. And then, which I'm not, like, against anybody who has religion. Like, if you have a religion, like, that's great. Like, whatever your faith is, I think that's important.
I think having a faith is important, yeah.
Yeah, even I would say Catholicism makes more sense to me than... I like Catholicism because they recognize spirits and ghosts. but like I don't know what other ones do. But so I would say, if anything, that would make the most sense for me to understand.
To be honest, none of them make fucking sense to me. They just seem...
I've already told you Greek mythology makes the most sense to me. Yeah. How does one person control everything? It would make sense that there's a bunch of people.
It's for me, it's more of like, I don't know. It's hard to describe, but how does one book have all the secrets? I think it comes down to this one documentary that I watched, and it was called Ancient Apocalypse. I think we watched it together.
We watched it together, yeah.
And basically what happened, I think it was 14,000 years ago, there was supposedly some evidence towards a Younger Dryas theory. And if you don't know what that is that there was an apocalyptic flood about 14,000 years ago that caused pretty much, let's say, the scab lands of Montana and Idaho.
Yes.
And there was a giant flood that happened.
And you can see it in the
landscape.
Yeah, in the landscapes. Yeah.
And that corresponds to a lot of religious texts, is that around, let's say, the same time, there was people that came through this flood. Most religions have a flood. That comes, and it makes more sense that through the Younger Dryas theory. So for me, I don't know. It's hard to describe. Like, I don't know if I could subject myself to one religion.
Also, you know what's so crazy? Almost every single thing we end up talking about ends up coming down to religion. Isn't that so crazy?
Yeah, I want to say... Yeah,
everything is surrounded by religion because faith
like,
is important. I think having blind faith in something is important to a person.
Yeah.
Like even having blind faith in your spouse, or blind faith in what you're trying to do in your everyday life.
Yeah.
Some people just focus it on religion. Some people focus it on other things. And I think a lot of stuff we look at is old school, and a lot of that is based off of religion.
Yeah, but I want to say that religion doesn't take a big part of my life, but I almost feel like I spend a lot of my life proving that I don't follow religion, and that almost beats, like, is counterintuitive. Yeah. To the point where, like, I'm not religious, but I'm spending all this time trying to prove that it doesn't exist. Yeah. So maybe if I don't spend any time trying to prove that it doesn't exist, maybe I would be religious or have more faith.
I agree with that. So either way, we'll switch gears from religion. Literally, it's the smallest part of this. But
Colfax, Idaho.
He's in Colfax, Idaho. My homeboy, the Reverend, he went to Portland. He got 3 Sisters of Charity to build a hospital in the Palouse. If you don't know that area, we call it the Palouse. There's even the Palouse city. It's just, I don't know what Palouse means, but it's just this area in Washington.
Washington and Idaho.
Yeah,
and a little bit. Fun fact, if you know the Windows screensaver with the rolling hills, that's the Palouse.
Oh, yeah, that is right. That's right.
So if you've ever seen that, you've seen the Palouse.
It is beautiful.
It is beyond beautiful.
In the fall, you need to go.
You have to. You have to go see it.
It's a beautiful area.
Even in the spring, seeing
the mustard.
Yeah.
Oh, that mustard. Oh my gosh.
The mustard
flowers.
plants. Yeah.
Oh, it is gorgeous.
And they're rolling hills, like literally. They're not super high.
The most beautiful. Oh my gosh.
It is. I would love to go back up there and visit. It is par none the most beautiful. I know.
Oh, hands down. But he went to go get the Sisters of Charity. I believe 3 came back. They came back he wanted to build a hospital. Reverend.
The Reverend.
Yeah, he was like, hey, we need this in this area.
Okay.
So he went and got them, because he needs, apparently, if you want to open up the religions, you need sisters or nuns because this was Catholic. That's how we got on this topic. And to build hospitals in religious orders, you have to get private donations or sponsors for funding. So he pretty much had to get all that. He had to get all these sponsors, all this funding.
He freaking did it, huh?
He put in a lot of work, but Colfax, Pullman, and Palouse City all wanted the hospital. Because he was like, in this area, in the Palouse, we need a hospital. Well, all these 3 cities were like, well, I want this because a hospital means money. People have to come do that. It gives
jobs.
Jobs, everything. So Colfax obviously won because that's where it's located at. They offered free water, land, and an interest-free loan of $3,000, and the Chamber of Commerce gave another $5,000 on top of that.
So when was this? What year was this?
This was in 1892.
How much money is $8,000 in 1892?
We can check.
Let's check it out.
We'll just check it out.
All right, we'll be right back. And we're back. $8,000 in 1892 was worth $269,666.81.
Jeez.
That is so much. Like, that's a lot of freaking money.
Yeah, it is. And only 3,000 of that was have to be paid back. It sounds like 5,000 of it was just given to them. So they were like, please build this in Colfax. So in April of 1893, they started building. So they started building it, and the first patient was actually treated in a wood hut. So they built like a cheap old little wood hut on the property because it was going to take a while for them to build the actual place.
They're like, we got you, my boy.
Yeah, but he was treated for pneumonia during the construction, which ended up finishing in 1894.
Was he okay?
Yeah, he was fine.
He was fine? Okay.
Yeah. Additions to the building were added in 1917 and 1928. But, I mean, if anybody knows that area, the Palouse, not a super ton of people live there.
It's pretty barren.
Yeah, it's pretty barren, but due to the lack of funding and unable to like upkeep / modernize because they didn't have the funding, and the decline in population.
What is the population?
That's a great question. We could look it up, but
let's look it up
real quick.
And we're back. The population is 2,766. And that was last taken in 2021.
Oh, dang. So that's been a couple years. Okay. Yeah, that's a little rough.
And if it was in 1892 is when they started?
Yeah. So in August of 1964, they actually decided to close the hospital because I'm guessing with declining population, your population, like, average age goes up because people who have maybe invested and bought a home or everything in there can't quite move.
Yes, that is what happens.
The
same thing's happening in Bruno, Idaho right now.
I know. So they ended up changing it into an assisted living.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah, which only stayed open until about 2000. I saw one that said 2003. But I'm going to say 2000 because most of the times I found 2000 as the closing date. But in 2015, Washington Trust Historic Preservation added the hospital to their 2015 most endangered properties. And that's what kind of put it back on the map again.
Why? Endangered properties? I haven't heard that before.
So pretty much these are historical properties that have been neglected. Okay. So pretty much it closed and then nobody did anything with it and it just started to rot. So Valerie Gregory, she does a lot. They were actually interviewed for Ghost Adventures or Ghost Encounters.
Valerie Gregory was?
No, she's like the gal who pretty much like takes people on tours. Like she's the one that knows the most about that place.
Okay.
She gets interviewed. She does all that fun stuff. Whoever wants to get anything out of her, she pretty much is the one that does that. She pretty much says if it rains outside, it's raining inside. She has the most encounters. Like, she's just like, it's bad. Like, it's just breaking down. Because 15 years of nothing. Nobody fixed it. Nobody repaired it. Nobody did anything to it.
That's pretty rough.
So
you can get pretty bad with like a couple of years.
Yeah. And you can even look at a couple of pictures of them. Like, their hazard signed off. They're not very great. It's pretty rough. But
so do you know why they were not maintained?
Because they just didn't have the funding for it. Like, they did not have the capabilities to do it.
So Colfax was like, we'll give you $5,000 at that time.
At that time, exactly.
And then they just kind of said, you're on your own?
Yeah, so when it's like it has a religious background, you have to continuously get sponsors, and then like patients weren't paying or things like that. Like when people don't pay their hospital bills, like then, you know, that's kind of a loss for them. So they're losing money as well. So yeah, it was just not making money. They were like, yeah, we need this healthcare.
And what were the cities fighting for it again? So there was Colfax,
Pullman, and Palouse City.
Oh, they would have done so well in Pullman.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
Yeah, and that's just like what's crazy about it, you know, like how Pullman is such a, I wouldn't say such a bigger city, but I mean it is. I mean,
bigger than 2000
it's
for sure.
Definitely bigger.
I think they're into 5 digits.
You know, let's check. Okay, how many is there?
Oh, and we're back. But the population of Pullman in 1990 was about 23,000, and today it's about 32,000.
Jeez. So, and we were what, like 2,000 something for the other one? Oh, jeez.
Yeah. We would have sat around 24,000.
Dang.
So Pullman was considerably larger.
That is crazy.
But also, I wonder how old Wazoo was. Because, you know, at one point,
I don't think Wazoo was there yet.
University of Idaho was the larger college at one point.
Which you would think you would want to be closer to that, right?
Like, yeah. And Pullman and University of Idaho, Moscow and University of Idaho, literally like 8 minutes apart from each other.
I was going to say, like, what, a 10-minute drive?
Super close. super close. Yeah. But it used to be that U of I was the bigger party school than Washington State University. And that flipped, I want to say in the mid-2010s.
Weird. I don't understand that. Like, how does that...
I really think it came down to their football team. They were killing it. They were doing really well. They got more spotlight, and they got more funding, and their school ended up just flourishing. They did really well. And I think Wazoo is... what is it?
Well, and they were founded in 18... Wait, this is Washington. It says that it was funded. Washington State University.
All right, we're going to pause it real quick. And we're back.
So yeah, Washington State University was founded in 1890.
That would have been such a better gamble.
Yeah, and which they started building in 1893. It wasn't... In 1917, the name was changed to a state college because it was Washington Agricultural College is what the name was. And then it was changed to Washington. Whack. But, you know, in hindsight, you know, they probably wouldn't have known that Pullman would have got so big. Yeah, because it wasn't elevated to university until 1959. So it would have not... They wouldn't have known. Yeah. Either way. Okay. But anyways, let's continue on. Yeah, so... Either way, 2015 really is what hyped it off. They got Ghost Adventures. I'm pretty sure that's the name of it. So they visited, I'm assuming, the Idaho State Penitentiary and then straight to this They might have, honestly. Straight to freaking Colfax? I don't know when they did it. But there's a cool like YouTube video. What was his name? I want to say, let me look at it real fast before I look. All right. His name was Garrett Watts. That's who, I think he did like, Nick was telling me he did like some Shane Dawson videos with him. Okay, I know Shane Dawson. So yeah, Shane Dawson, he was like super conspiracy, super haunting, all that fun stuff. I watched a lot of his videos growing up. Yeah. So I guess Garrett Watts did something with him, but that's who did this video. I probably have seen this then. Yeah, so a couple years ago, 2 years ago, he created this video. So I don't know, maybe that's probably maybe not. Probably not then. He made this video, and that's what made Nick want to go to it with a group of friends. And Nick used to live in northern Idaho. He literally just came down from Lewiston. He was from Mountain Home, but college, all that fun stuff. From Mountain Home to Lewiston. I gotta go say hi to this guy. Yeah. He's a cool guy. Lewiston, the broccoli town. Yeah. Dude,
Did you tell him about that?
Oh, yeah. He's like, that's the smelliest town I've ever been in.
Did he say you get used to it?
Yeah,
or
you do. Yeah.
You just smell like broccoli all the time?
But he also said that we should do one on all the serial killers that came out of
Bro,
Lewiston.
Lewiston is one of the meth capitals. I'm not even joking. It's not, okay, not a meth capital, but per capita, Lewiston.
Yes, per capita and serial killers is...
Lewiston, Idaho.
Lewiston, Idaho, man.
Is freaking off the charts for no freaking reason.
No reason. No reason at all.
You want meth? Lewiston, Idaho. You want to meet somebody that maybe killed a man? Lewiston, Idaho.
Yep.
You want to meet somebody that can catch a fish and stab somebody at the same time? Lewiston, Idaho.
That's awesome, babe. But anyways, so I got some people who have died there.
Oh man.
F.E. Martin. He was the first ever death. First ever.
F.E. Martin.
Smashed between two railroad cars. Railroad. Did I say railroad? Railroad cars. Cards.
Carts?
Cars.
Wait.
He was just smashed.
How does that happen?
I don't know how it happened, but
That's the description?
Yeah. Literally everywhere. That's all it says.
My boy just wanted to die.
And they say locals and curious visitors tell of a large, angry black mass is said to attack anybody that comes near it.
The railroad?
The railroad guy. That's what they say. They think the black mass is railroad guy because he's pissed. Because he got smashed on the job.
Bro, so that sounds like the worst way to go.
Yeah.
I don't blame him.
Within the first month, from what I read, the first month, 10 people went in, only 3 people lived.
Damn.
So, get wrecked.
Colfax really putting up numbers, huh?
Yeah.
30% living ratio. That's what I'm talking about.
Valerie Gregory, the gal I was talking about earlier, she's actually the Chamber of Commerce executive director. She has some encounters. In the past few years, Valerie has heard a handful of conversations, seen dark shadows, and has been kicked. She said that she was kicked on the shoe, and nobody was there. Nobody was there behind her, but she felt like somebody kick her foot, like, to move.
Dude.
Keep on going.
I would freaking run out of there so fast. You don't understand how fast I would run.
And one of the stories about this place, they have several haunted rooms, but I guess Rose's room, Dave's room, and the children's room. It's always the children's room.
I feel like children, when they die, like...
They're just restless.
But also it's like, how sad is it for a child to die? They have to live just a happy life afterwards in maybe the spirit world that maybe
then that
flows
makes you even
into
more
our
sad.
world.
That even makes you more sad because
They're
you're
just
like,
trying to
these
be happy.
children are
just
stuck here.
And they're just trying to play.
Repeating everything.
Just trying to play with somebody.
It makes me so sad.
And the worst part is, I don't want to play with them if they're in the spirit world. If they're in the spirit world, like, just leave me alone, dude. I'm the grumpy old man in the corner.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
But
like, don't kick my shoe, bro.
But
if I'm in 3D and you're over there in 4D, leave me alone. If I feel your shoe
speaking of leaving you alone, dude, Nick has the craziest story.
No, don't tell me this.
Dude, he was dragged out of a room.
No, he absolutely
yes,
was
he
not.
was.
No.
Yeah.
No.
He was with a group of friends, and they have a video of it.
No.
I have a video to show
you.
You
have the fucking video?
Just kidding. Oh, just kidding. I just wanted to see what your reaction was.
There's tears in my eyes right now, bro. Why do you do this to me?
Okay, sorry. I just really wanted to see what you would do. No.
Oh my god. So... There's tears in my eyes.
I'm totally joking. Okay.
Okay.
Let's get this read. Okay.
All right.
So, this is quote unquote. Wipe your tears.
Well, I'm wiping my tears. I was so scared for a second. I was like, there's absolutely no fucking way I'm watching this.
There's me holding up my phone for you to watch it.
There's no way. I am watching this right now.
The greatest thing is Nick sent me a video so I could play it off. Okay, anyways.
He did?
It was like a YouTube video. It's good.
Oh.
Your eyes are going to pop out of your head.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. Miguel, you make it too easy. Okay. I'm going to go quote unquote for Nick.
Okay.
So, we took our tour in October 2022.
Of course you did.
Because that's when it's open, in October. Back to it. And we got a lot of backstory from the tour people of what we could experience and had to sign waivers saying that if anything happened to us, it wasn't on them.
Uh-huh.
LOL. That's what it says.
You already lost me.
We didn't experience anything physical happen to us. But devices we use picked up a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure.
From what I understand is that they actually give you some haunting equipment, like some ghost stuff, like ghost facers.
I take everything back that I said. I don't want to meet this guy.
One of the rooms that we went into belonged to an old woman who passed away there and loved drinking Coors and...
All right. It's respectable, I guess.
So it was always a nice gesture to bring one for her. We didn't know that at the time. In that room, we had a kid talking to us with a woman who...
They didn't. No way they did.
With a woman who almost sounded older, but we couldn't be for sure. Like, we couldn't know for sure. Sorry, that was my cup. I'm so sorry.
What the fuck was that? What was that, dude? Was that you?
I accidentally hit the cup. I'm so sorry. You're going crazy. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Continue on.
Now I had to find my spot. Okay, it sounded older, but couldn't be for sure. We used flashlights that were torch sensitive,
Of course.
and we could set them down, and they were going crazy and answering accurately when we would ask them questions for the most part. So we'd ask them questions, and it would respond. The nuns' quarters.
Okay.
Okay. I'll pause. Tell me what you're thinking.
Torch sensitive. What the hell does that mean? That they would... What? They would hand it off to a fucking ghost man?
So, from what I understand, it's that when they talk, they can, like, send that electronic signal and it would flash.
Actually, you're okay. Continue on. I don't want to know anything about that.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
The nun quarters was the most unusual and unsettling part to me. They used to have nuns live up there, and they would take care of the children up there as well. But when we were up there, all we heard was men yelling at us, telling us to leave, and they didn't want us there. There was a voice saying, just fucking kill them, and stuff like that.
This is... Okay, hold on. Whoa. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. This was a first-hand account.
This is from Nick. This is what he experienced. He went with a group.
Okay, hold on. Stop. Hold on. He heard them say, just fucking kill them?
Yes.
Okay, before we continue on, we need to figure out when fuck became a bad word so I can prove him wrong. There's no way. There's no way this is happening.
So I can prove him wrong.
Let's figure out when fuck became a bad word.
Okay,
all right, let's just finish it and then we'll come back.
Okay, I'm almost done.
I hope so. I really hope so.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Whatever. Sorry, I can't get over you right now. Whatever they were up... Sorry. Whatever they were up there obviously didn't want us up there and just wanted us to leave. We also walked into a room that used to be boarded up until recently. They never knew it was there until that year. And we talked to a woman that had been abused by one of the owners of the establishment.
Why would you
it was
talk to her?
operational.
Why would you talk to her? Why? Jesus, why would you talk to her? She'd been boarded up for a fucking reason, dude. There's no way. Oh my God.
There seemed to be a man's voice trying to overcome her voice.
Oh, I'm sure.
Through the device that we had. At one point, we heard him say, "Go," super loud, thinking he was talking to us. But we later assumed that he was talking to the women because her voice stopped and never came back.
This is not, you made this up. This is
no,
not
you
real.
could read this text.
This is not real.
Overall, it was a really good experience.
Overall, really. Give it 5 stars on
Like,
Scare B&B.
Somewhat scary. You're like shitting your pants. He's like, it was like kind of scary.
I simply just wouldn't be there.
But whatever / whoever we talked to were nicer than we thought they were going to be. That's all he said. And then he sent me the video and said, "This is the video that made us want to go." One of the pics he got at the place is so unsettling.
I guess we'll watch the video. I'm going to pause it real quick. If I don't make it back alive, I adore each and every one of our listeners. So I'll be back in a minute. And we're back. I watched just a little bit of that video. Mm-hmm. It's about an hour long.
Hour and a half, I would say. Closer to an hour and a half.
Yeah. Oh, an hour and a half. Garrett Watts, shout out to you, my friend.
Yeah, overnight in a haunted hospital. Dare to watch at night is what he called it.
On
YouTube.
I simply would not do it. Okay. The first little bit that we watched.
That is such
a
random
clear.
spot.
So clear.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna attach a link in our Instagram.
Yeah.
So if you're listening this far into it, please take a look at that. Watch it. Let us know what you think. Mm-hmm. Or just don't give me any more details. I'd be okay with that too.
Yeah. Miguel definitely saw something pop up there.
Oh, I did. 100% I did.
It's kind of it's pretty spooky. I would say it's pretty spooky.
Yeah.
I know it's not October, but New Year gotta start off with
spooky
some
ones.
spooks.
Seems like you like the spooky ones. I'm okay with the spooky ones.
I think it's cool when it's in our history and like bigger people have come and seen them.
Yeah, I like it when it's like Idaho. I don't know. I'm pretty biased against Idaho because I feel like there's a stigma around it. But Idaho's pretty freaking awesome.
And it was pretty close to Idaho. I figured I was like, Palouse. Like, we've visited there and been through there so many times. Might as well just do it. So,
well, is that everything?
Yeah, no, that's everything. I also thought it was super cool. We had somebody, like I knew somebody that had been there.
That is
physically
cool.
done that.
That is pretty cool.
I want to say I bet I could find it on his Instagram if it was like public, his pictures of it, but...
That's pretty cool. I enjoyed
this episode. There's like blood on the walls.
I didn't enjoy this episode.
Didn't enjoy. I know you got a little scared there a couple times.
Bro, I get scared so easily.
I know your eyes were just popping out of your head.
This stuff is just the part that scares me the most is that it could be real.
Like, I mean, it is real.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, in my mind, I know it's most likely real. Like, I believe in ghosts. I believe in all that stuff. But a little part of me is tugging at me saying, like, Miguel, you don't have to believe in it. It's not real. and that's what keeps me grounded. As soon, like, you know, a little part of me is like, Miguel, it's all right, dude. It's just a little pranky. And then another part of me is like, Miguel, you know what you've been through.
You know what you've been through.
And then it's like, it's fucking scary.
But, yeah. Shout out to all of our listeners. Keep on listening, and I guess we'll see you on the next one, right?
Yeah, and give us any advice too. Like we're trying to become better content creators, and anything that you can give us, any piece of advice or anything you want to give us. So I know we have something planned already for next year later in the year. Sam doesn't know what I'm talking about, but I know what I'm talking about.
I know, I'm looking at him like, wait, what?
But anything, really. Like, we'd also probably love to interview some people. Like, I know I want to get to know people, interview some people.
Yeah.
Like if you want to be interviewed and you're in Idaho or in the Treasure Valley, I'd love to interview you.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll make an episode.
Good. Yeah. We've even thought about, like, with our friends, like, kind of like, oh, like, because they kind of have a similar vibe, I'd say. That's the easiest word to say. They have a similar vibe, and they could come in with some pretty cool points of view.
Yeah.
So, I know. I hope our dream in the summer is to be able to sit around the fire outside and hang out and, like, record this.
Yeah.
That would be super cool.
It'd be cool if we could do it and then not have, like, a bunch of static.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah, we'll have to try it. We may. So I guess in the summer you may hear one. And if we don't like it, we more likely won't do it again. But we're going to at least try, because, I mean,
why not?
We'll listen to a nice little fire in the background. As long as our neighbor's dogs don't go crazy, right. I think it should be totally fine.
Overall, Sam, I think that was a fantastic episode. I enjoyed it.
I'm glad I spooked you a little bit. That's my goal.
Anything else you want to add to it?
No, thanks. Thank you guys for always just listening, and can't wait to see you on the next one.
Yeah, we'll see you on the next one.